COVID infections are soaring and more states continue to announce restrictions and lockdowns that curb normal movement. While it will be some time before the full economic impact of everything that is going on around us can be seen, this is what we know at this point. The Oxford Stringency Index rose to about 70 mid-April when compared to a value of 57.8 in the start of the month. The index essentially measures government restrictions and strictness in response to the pandemic globally. In India, the index is sure to have risen further, with more states jumping onto the lockdown bandwagon. A number of private economists too have come up with their own indices comprising of ultra-high frequency data. For example, an index created by Quantico Research showed a contraction of 10.6% in the week ended April 25th compared to a contraction of 10.3% in the preceding week. A lot of these indices have also been falling because of mobility. However, the relation between mobility and economic activity remains a tad bit unclear, especially in the second wave. There are other indicators as well. The demand for electricity too has weakened, but it has not fallen too drastically. While it is a measure of industrial activity, it does take into account residents as well, as they too use electricity. Hence, that's also a tad bit noisy. Other indicators such as e-way bills have fallen by almost a third up till April 25th in comparison to March when it hit a record high. Unemployment as measured by CMI in urban areas rose to 10% but remains substantially lower than 25% where it was at this time last year. As a result, a lot of economists have downgraded GDP forecasts, but not by that much, as there is still expectation that some of the demand lost in the first half of the financial year will be made up for in the remaining part of the year. The largest cut has come from UBS, that has cut India's GDP forecast to 10% from 11.5% for FY22. A number of other institutions such as Nomura, ICRA and others have also cut GDP by a tad bit. Meanwhile, in a fast-changing situation, it is important to know what is the situation on ground. Large businesses have survived the first wave well and will perhaps sail through even in the second wave. But where does that leave smaller ones? Representatives of small businesses have said that there are some supply disruptions. In some areas, migrant labor shortages have been emerging. Also, compliance with strict sanitization and physical distancing norms is a burden. Many units are also sitting on orders that they're unable to execute. Meanwhile, lenders are worrying about bad loans. BloombergQuint's Vishwanath Nair reported that they have sought yet another restructuring window. And Ridhima Saxena reported that lenders to the self-employed will be hurt more if incomes in the gig economy and in the informal sector start to fall. Remain tuned in to BloombergQuint for more updates on the economy.